Okay, today I'd like to do a quick review of the Samsung Galaxy Tab 2, the 7-inch version. I just got the student edition version, which is really nice. It's bundled with a couple of nice accessories, and I just want to, cover the basics and then a couple of things that I feel like a lot of reviews gloss over, which is really the advantages of having that USB host capability on a tablet like this, which I think really sets this apart from some other tablets that are out there, especially say like the Nexus 7. Okay, so right off the bat, here you can see it's a typical size format for a 7-inch tablet. Or slate, whatever you want to call it. It's now, unlike the competition in this price range, this comes with a couple of accessories, which I'll get into in a minute, and it does come with cameras, which the competition does not. It has a 3 megapixel camera on the back, and it's got a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, for video chatting. Really, the front-facing camera is the only one you really get any great use out of, I would say, because for video chatting, if you do that, it's 1.3. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. It does the job. And then the 3 megapixel camera on the back. If you're planning on taking a lot of photos with it, it's kind of useless. Really, I only use it for scanning barcodes or QR codes. So there's that. As you can see on this version, you got a glossy back on it in white, which I kind of like, actually. You got a light sensor there. If you go around on the right side, you have your power button and your volume buttons. You also have an IR emitter here, which can be used with the PEL Universal Remote app. I personally don't care for the PEL app for various reasons. I'd rather if it was just a straight up universal remote. The way that it wants to control your devices doesn't work for me. I have a Harmony remote, which I far prefer. Although it's kind of neat that it's there. On the opposite side, the left side, you have the SD card slot. This is a big advantage to me over the other tablets that are in this price range. Mainly about the $250 mark, $200 to $250 mark, because you have expandable storage, which is a big deal for me. Would like to use this offline, so to me, I'd like to have more of my content on the device itself. So this is a big feature for me. Up top, we have the ambient sound mic right there. You can kind of see, and the headphone jack. 3.5 millimeter, pretty standard. On the bottom here, we have our stereo speakers, which is nice here and here. It gives a pretty good sound quality. It gets reasonably loud. Again, you're listening to music on a tablet through its normal speakers. Don't expect anything too amazing, but they work, and it's pretty good. It gets pretty loud. Here is the dock connector. Now, to me, that is one of the big detractors from this, or big, it's a con for me, because I'd rather it just had a micro USB connection, but hey, this is what it's got. I'll add too that it looks a lot like an Apple dock connector, but it is not an Apple dock connector. Don't expect to use the Apple accessories. So that's the basic tablet. It's got a decent weight to it. It's not feels solid. It doesn't feel cheap or plasticky, really. It's got a nice thing. As far as additionally in the hardware, it's got the 1024 by 600 screen resolution. It's got an IPS panel. It's not an AMOLED. It's nothing too special. It looks good. Honestly, the resolution, I know that the Nexus 7 has a higher resolution. Was it like 1200 by 800 or 12 something by 800? Honestly, when I've seen them side by side, not that appreciable a difference. I don't think that it's going to, make or break it. Honestly, with resolution, it's not a big deal. As far as I'm concerned, you may feel differently. You're entitled to that. That's fine. So that covers about as far as for hardware of the device itself. Well, okay, it's also got a 4,000 milliamp battery pack inside, which honestly, I've run this for 10 hours doing a lot of, you know, taxing stuff, watching video, playing emulators, things like that. It seems to last just fine. I don't think it's got any deficiencies as far as battery power. And it's got the 1 gigahertz dual-core processor, and to be quite honest with that too, haven't had it bogged down. It's pretty responsive. It's I don't really have any issues with you know, it bogging down. I don't know if I call it buttery smooth all the time, but then again, it's not slow, you know, and everything seems to operate nicely. You know, everything's pretty responsive, quick. Software-wise, it's running Ice Cream Sandwich. It came with 4.0.3 installed, and then pretty much immediately upgraded to 4.0.4, and it's running very nicely. Okay. Now, as far as with the particular student edition package, you get, of course, you get a charger. You know, pretty standard wall charger. It's not bad. 2 amp output. You get the dock cable, or the the charging cable, which is again, you know, whatever. I don't like the fact that it's got a proprietary cable, but you know, I can deal with that. It also came with this USB adapter. I mean, basically it's an OTG cable adapter. This is one of the greatest options you can have. It's kind of a must-have if you have this tablet, really, as far as I'm concerned, so it's really great that it's in this kit. And then it also comes with this keyboard, which is it's very nice. It's a full-function Android keyboard that the tablet docks into. It's got a dock connector here, which will act as a pass-through, so you can attach your USB connector or your power connection. It's also got a line out here for headphones or external speakers if you want to. It would have been really nice if this had a built-in USB port. That would have really made this really nice, but it doesn't, so you know, what can you do? It's a nice, solid feeling keyboard. It's a nice little thing to have. I don't think it's absolutely necessary for me. It's not exactly like I'm going to use this thing to replace my computer, but it's nice. I'm just going to put that to the side. I don't really need to get into it. You know, the device automatically recognizes it when you plug it in, and you can use it to navigate and all that. It's nice, but I don't really need to talk about that too much. And I can also put these to the side too, because we're not really going to be charging it up. So, okay, as far as the tablet, now I touched upon the performance of it, and I think that it's quite a good performer. I haven't had it really have a problem with many apps. If you want to see it do something that's a little taxing, let's, I mean, you know, right now, I don't know if it's necessarily the, you know, be-all end-all of tests, but let's have it run an emulator. I like the N64 emulator that I have, which is quite nice, and I saw an equivalent video, I'm sure you can look it up, of the Nexus 7 running emulators. Now, this, I had to do a couple things to the emulator. I had to change the graphics plugin to, now granted I only changed it to one that this particular, what is it, Mupen64 Plus came with, 2 graphics plugins, so I just changed it to the other one, the one that was the Rice one or something, I don't know. And I changed a couple of small settings just to optimize it, and and now it runs pretty well. And for the record, on that other video that I saw of the Nexus 7 doing it, they had to do the exact same procedure. So basically, it's almost exactly the same setup on both. Now, they were running Mario Kart. I'm just going to run Mario 64, just because I played it. I don't want to go through all the screens on Mario Kart to get it going, but here, I got the volume down here. Let's put the volume up. So here, if I hit start, and just continue my game, but if you see, you can, you know, navigate around. Now if I can just get it back, I love these. Okay. So, this is a game that I already started, so you're not going to see the intro animations, but it does those just fine. Okay, so let's run in the door here. And I don't want to go through too much, but just to show you how it works, let's just jump into a board for a second. Yeah. Oh, crouch. Yeah, you get pretty good performance. Yeah, I can go up. Alright, so you get the idea though. It's pretty much fine, you know. Just close out of this. So, I mean, it runs pretty nicely. So that's definitely an advantage. And now, you know, it's also got some nice little things that they throw in. You know, I don't want to go through all of them, but one in particular that I really like is that it comes with a very nice file browser, My Files here, and you can go through, you know, look at your, this is my SD card that I put in, my optional SD card that brought me up in memory. So I added a 32 gig SD card. It's got 8 gig internal, although you really can only use about 4 gig of that, because the other 4 gig is for all the software and you know, the OS and stuff. But you know, you can navigate through. Got some nice options. You can, you know, scroll around. You can actually expand this, so you can get like the full file names if you need to. You can also select all, deselect all. You can select individual folders and do operations to multiple files or folders at once, which is kind of cool. It's a really nice, really usable little app, which is very appreciated that it's just right off the bat. Again, it's kind of, you know, this is a nice device because they have that certain level of openness right out of the box. That's just, I greatly appreciate. So that's, and we'll come back to that My Files in a second. Oh, also, actually, in that My Files, there's a very nice option that you can actually get it to show hidden files, which is really cool that they allow you to do that. You know, at least how I feel. So now, that's you know, just a little on the performance and such. Now, if you want to see some of the USB options, now I'm sure you probably have seen this before, but whatever, I'm going to go into it again. Here, connect the USB adapter. If you look in the corner, you saw that it has the USB connector. Been attached, and now I can put in my flash drive. This is a 64 gig flash drive, so it will probably pop up in a second. There you go, USB mass storage device connected, and then it'll automatically go right into our file browser, My Files, and you can see you can go through the stuff on here real quick. You can read files, you can look at images and stuff off of this drive. You can copy files to and from the drive, and you can even play videos right off of the drive. And this thing's got more than enough processing capability to comfortably do that, and you know, it transfers files fast enough. It's not really a problem. So here you go, just playing a movie. Yeah, I probably want to skip ahead just because, you know, you don't want to watch the whole intro, but here you go. So there you go, plays just fine. So here, let's exit out of this because, again, don't need to dwell on this too long. But here, I'll go back. Now I'm back in the file browser, and you know, I can minimize. And now if I click here, the side panel, which is really nice. This little pop-up menu here is really nice. They have, I'm not sure if it's on the tablet version, but also my Galaxy S3 has this too, where it has these nice quick settings that you can do right in the pop-up menu, which is really convenient. You know, you don't have to have a widget or something to do it. And, you know, you can turn off like Wi-Fi, GPS, Bluetooth, your sound, you know, screen rotation, those kind of things, which is nice. And you have your settings right here. You can just hit brightness. Just it's nice. But okay, if I hit this USB mass storage connected, select that, it'll automatically eject it safely. Then it gives me a message that it's safe to remove, and there you go. So that's that, and so that really expands my storage when I'm offline, when I'm going someplace, if I'm on an airplane or something like that. It's really nice to have all that stuff with you, which is kind of great. I also have a SD card reader USB that I can plug in. I have like a little, just a whatever SD card I found around. It's like a 32 meg, but whatever. So plug that in, give it a second. It's reading it. There it goes, popped up as my screen shuts off. And you can go into folders, navigate files, same stuff. So it's kind of great. And if I want to, I can just go back over here, eject. Says it's safe to remove in a second. There you go. Unplug it, and there you go. It's really nice. Like the My Files program, really great. Works smoothly. It's really expands your capabilities, and it's quite nice to use. Now, that's not the only stuff though that you can do with USB, and this is where I think people get a little, they kind of gloss over things. Now, I've used a variety of things here. One such example is here. I got a Canon digital SLR camera right here. And I hooked up my mini USB cable to it, and I can hook this in. Sometimes it's a little quirky, but for the most part it's pretty consistent. Let's just exit out of that, back to the home screen, and if I plug this in and then I turn on the camera, there you go. I have an app that I purchased for it, which is the DSLR controller, and if I select that, it should come up. There you go. And now I have the tablet acts like a viewfinder for the camera, but more than that too, it also actually can adjust settings. So like I can take this little box, drag it over onto here, so say the can, which is over here, and I can get it to focus on that point. Also, if I tap again, now I can actually change settings, so I can change the aperture here to a different size aperture, so whatever I want, and I can change like white balance, shooting style, live view kind of stuff, just all kinds of the settings, certain things that the only stuff that you can, like I have to actually physically change the dial on the camera to change, the particular shooting style, but it's nice. You can also then, it acts as a shutter release, so I can take a photo, and then it'll allow me to review that photo on the tablet itself. But it's very, works smoothly. It's nice. You can connect right up. It's this is a nice little app, and it's a really nice functionality for the for this tablet. And like I said, on something like the Nexus 7, they don't allow you USB host capability, so you can't do things like this, which it bothers me. I mean, sure, you can root the tablet and get that functionality, but rooting is risky. I mean, no matter what. I mean, yeah, it's not as risky as it used to be. Granted, maybe, but I'd prefer to just not have to root it, and you don't have to root this tablet to do these things, which is really nice. So I'm just disconnecting. Let me get out of there. So so that's just one of the things that you can do with this. Another thing, if you want, is I've run a controller, a USB controller, and like for instance, like on my I have another emulator for actually, let me just make sure it's not running still. Nope. Okay, good. I have another emulator for Nintendo, the original Nintendo, the NES, and if I plug this in, this was a cheapo kind of, USB PS3 controller, and that I got. Now, this should natively work, and usually I can, yeah, here you go. See, now I can navigate around. It took a second for it to recognize it, but if you see, I don't know if you can see the little box traveling around, but you can actually navigate through the OS with this. You know, and then additionally you can use it on something like my Nintendo emulator here, and here I can do let's go with a classic here, Super Mario Brothers. Get my volume up again. Let's go start. And as you can see, works pretty well. You know, not that I'm particularly great at any of these things, but you know, as you can see, the controller works. So, you know, that's kind of nice. So now let me just exit out of here. Okay, and there you go. And now I can disconnect this. Now, you know, this is just a couple of things. Now, I've also hooked up USB mouse and keyboard to it. I've had that work. Actually, I had a wireless mouse and keyboard work with a Logitech emitter. You can plug that in. That works just fine. I've hooked in USB hubs. I'm not really going to get into that because I want to keep this not too terribly long. And then also I've used other things like, you know, this USB to serial adapter. And then this is another converter that's to another serial type. This is the RS485. And I did a loopback test with it. I don't need to necessarily show you every little thing with that, but just suffice it to say that it works. And that's just a few of the things that I've tried. God knows how many other things you can do, but it's got a lot of capability here with the USB, which I think is a really big advantage and makes this a really great great accessory, and really great that they included it in this kit. Now, if you want to, if you just get the tablet, you can buy an aftermarket one, because I know that this one from Samsung is about $20. You can get it at I've seen it at the at Best Buys, you know, and stuff. And then this one I got through Amazon, through some like seller, and it was shipped. It was like $4. And actually, I like this a little better because it's got the flexible cable. So like when you plug it into the dock connector, you can also plug in, when you plug something else into here, you're not wrenching on the dock connector, which is a little nice. We'll see how it holds up over time. It doesn't feel amazingly quality, but whatever. But it's still, you know, not bad. So, you know, there you go. Pretty much, that's the tablet. I think that it is a very compelling option in the 7-inch tablet range. I think that it is a very capable tablet. It's got a good battery life. It's got decent specs. I mean, like, that's the other thing too I'd like to say is that you know, I've seen, as far as performance-wise, you know, I haven't seen anything terribly compelling to say that the quad-core processor for, say, like the Tegra 3s are giving you so much more of a performance boost that you know, it's a deal maker. You know, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, this dual-core processor has held up to everything that I've done with it. You know, as far as for you know, running various apps, you can do. You know, I mean, it's very responsive. You know, as far as for loading times and everything on websites, it's very quick. It's very responsive. You know, I don't have any problem with. You know, look, I mean, things are loading pretty quickly. You know, it's really not bad. I've run a variety of browsers on it. I've run emulators on it. I've run a bunch of different apps and games and stuff, and it never really seems to bog down or hold me up at all. So I think it's pretty great. I think it's a really nice piece, and honestly, because of the expandable memory and because of the USB host capability, I would really say that it has a serious advantage over something like a Nook or a Kindle or even a Nexus 7, because it's you know, it's a little more open. It's got a little more capability out of the box. You don't have to root it. Alright, well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope that it might, you know, at least give you something to think about when you're choosing a tablet. Alright, thanks.